When the summer 2022 anime season began, one thing really excited me. Saturday, we had two really fantastic A1 Pictures original series that were kicking off, and I figured every Saturday it was going to be me covering Engage Kiss and Look at Us Recoil. Now, granted, Look at Us Recoil is still really, really good. I'm still gladly covering that show, but unfortunately, Engage Kiss, especially with the second episode, really did bring it down for me. As much as I had that excitement over that first episode, just the great action, some great chemistry and everything. But thankfully, episode 3 brought it up again for me a little bit. What's my thoughts on episode 2 and 3, technically, of Engage Kiss? So let's jump into it. Episode 2 of Engage Kiss, unfortunately, did not work for me. And I think what I said on Twitter and everything was that there's a problem with this show and the idea that it loves to really present information dumps in really awkward ways. Character developments and backstory of characters in ways that just aren't good. It was a lot of kind of bickering between people while somebody else is claiming that something is true for Shu, the main character, and not really showing us what really drives him. You're having this character that is trying to take down this mayor, and the entire time Shu and Kisara are trying to take him down, he's telling Shu what he should be feeling. And in the end, Shu's just shrugging it off and making a Amazon order for a truck to come hit the guy. It felt so off in how it was trying to portray that Shu should be angry at the humans. This whole idea is what this guy is trying to take down the mayors because they're trying to cover up the existence of demons to the general public. And so this guy wants to make the demons public. And so he believes that Shu and Kisara working side by side to help the humans doesn't make any sense to him. And again, it's trying to tell Shu's story through this guy, but in a really bad way. Like when I was thinking about making an episode 2 impressions video, because again, I was excited for episode 1, I had nothing because it didn't feel right. None of it felt right. Thankfully, like I alluded to earlier, episode 3 did so much better to develop what Shu is. Now, I will still say, despite my excitement in what episode 3 presented, I still don't like how it's presented. It still, it's almost as if this writer and this group of, this team working on this missed the class that said show, don't tell. Because most of this episode is really just telling us what Shu is, telling us what Shu went through, telling us what Shu and Kisara are as a team, telling us what Shu's relationship is with Ayano. That stuff bugs me. But it's still an interesting concept. And for those that did not watch the episode, maybe you're watching this because you want to find out if Engage Kiss is getting better, the cool thing that we presented in this episode, and I love that technically from the very beginning of the episode, and this is the good part of how they wrote this out, you have this experience with Shu, Ayano, they're out on a date, or at least they met somewhere at a park, and Ayano goes out of her way to leave work, go home, change, come to the park where Shu's at to talk with him. It's just, they're just talking. That's all they're doing. It's not a date or anything like that, but she went out of her way to get on a certain outfit. We don't know at the time until way later when Kisara tells Shu, you know what she was wearing, didn't you? No, I don't. She was wearing the outfit that she first wore on your first date. That's a huge thing that he completely forgot. And oh yeah, why does he forget this? Why is he forgetting this important thing? Why is Shu such a jerk? Let's just go that far back. From the very first moment we met Shu, it's kind of a dirtbag. He's basically using this girl to get a free dinner. And then kind of goes, oh yeah, by the way, I need to pay my phone bill. It's like he's always using her. You get a sense that he does know her, but you never get a sense that he loves her. Just that he's kind of using her. He used to work for her. She's got a crush on him. That's all we kind of were led to believe from the very beginning. Now with episode 3, it's so clear that Shu and Ayano were in a relationship. They loved each other. They were living together. Everything points to these two being together. But now, why is he so distant from her? Because every time he fights, every time Shu fights, this one thing he's driven himself to do, he's giving up his memories. That's the pact. Every time somebody is possessed by a demon, they have to give up something, their life, or possibly just certain things, their skills, something that has to be sacrificed to gain power. And as we find out with this episode, Shu gives up memories. Specifically, it's almost as if he allows Kisara to choose. Like, she's like, well, which one do I get now? 3 years ago, springtime. Let's go with that. Or let's go with that segment of memories. Because it does seem like it insinuates he's pretty much given all of his memories of Ayano. And now with episode 3, with this battle that he just had, he gave up the moment that they first started living together. And then we get this little glimpse, finally. This is finally the show don't tell. And that we see through Kisara's mind those memories. She's consumed them, so now she has them. And so we get to see those shots of him coming into home. There's Ayano. They're living together. They're happy. And now Kisara has those memories. And it opens up so many cool doors. As simple as this might seem, and again, as unfortunately semi-poorly as it was portrayed, like I said, the tell don't show, it does open up a lot of doors. The most interesting thing that it opens up for is Kisara. What is it doing to Kisara? We obviously know that Kisara is madly in love with Shu. And what they kind of tell us is that Kisara first showed up with Shu like 2 or 3 years ago. So they showed up in the town together. They wanted to sign up to be a part of this demon disposal group. They actually assigned them like an A rank threat. They said, no, we don't want you working here. We want you dead. And so they tried to get everybody, like all these teams, to take them down, and they failed miserably. But the thing that came from that is, oh yeah, the government's like, yeah, since we can't get rid of them, might as well make them a part of the team. And then following that has been this development between Kisara and Shu, in that every time she desires power, she has to take memories from Shu, and then in return, this is the cool part, this is the part that's going to bring a really big question to Kisara, does she really love Shu? From the very beginning, first episode, she has been madly, this is yandere levels here. But is it because she just has the memories of him with Ayano? The memory of love, the thing that he did for Ayano, she's self-inserting herself because those memories are in her head. Now, granted, there's a side of me that believes that it should be more that Kisara falls in love with Ayano. Maybe this will open the doors to some sort of Yuri thing, but that's my assumption. That's where it's going. The direction it's going for why she loves Shu so much is because she knows so much about him. She knows about his past and everything. And what they kind of alluded to at the very beginning, she's got a lot of his memories, like way back in the day. Because as the whole show opens up with this perspective of this girl that's crying, which we find out is Kana, his little sister. She's crying and she's looking for mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy are dead. And oh yeah, by the way, Oni-chan, which we're guessing is Shu. And then he wakes up, and then it's like this moment where he grabs this photo and he looks at it and he remembers them. Like, oh yeah, I still remember who you are. I still have my driving force. This is the reason why I do what I do. I'm glad I still remember you. So she's got memories of pretty much his entire life all inside of her head, because that's what she consumes to get power. Again, it's a really cool idea, and I hope that they do something really fascinating with it. Like I said, are the Kisara loving him for these memories that aren't her own? The idea that she now technically wants to apologize to Ayano because she's always been pushing back Ayano, where she does it in this episode, acknowledge the fact that they loved each other, and that he is sacrificing all of his memories of his loved one just to save her, just to protect her. And she finds that to be, she makes a joke of the idea that he's a dirtbag, but she does acknowledge that he loved her so much that he did this for her. And now there's a little bit of a nastiness. Kisara's realizing how nasty it is that she's now spending time with Shu. And the only reason that he's not madly in love with Ayano is because she's been taking his memories away. It's kind of nasty in that regard. It feels really nasty in that regard. One of the interesting things they haven't really fully explained was something that happened in the first episode. The first time we seen him give his energy to Kisara, his memories, to give her power up. She leaves to fight, and he spits out what looked like a tooth. I thought that they got too crazy with the kissing that she lost a tooth in his mouth. But it seems like this is something that, it's like a token. Like, they kissed, they exchanged power, and so he can pull these teeth out as like a token and use it as ammunition. And he does it twice in this third episode. And it seems like it takes a lot of energy out of him. It's almost as if when they make that pact, he's able to take these demon teeth out or whatever and use them as weapons. Which, again, does she leave him behind? Is he just yanking him out of nowhere and it's using his power? Who knows? But anyway, good episode. Really did like the doors that kind of opened up. Again, I don't really like how it was presented. Very tell, don't show. But at the same time, it has the potential of doing some really creative stuff with the characters, and I'm looking forward to it. They also technically pretty much established that this entire town is controlled by two women. Like the mayor dude is like the father, and he just is completely an idiot. This is again one of those things where I think the writing comes down a lot for me. And the idea that you have this guy that he's in power, and it's almost making it as if he's just a face. Like they have him there just as a face because he knows jack squat about what's going on. Like he doesn't even know about the energy underneath. He doesn't know about the demons, the demon hunting. Like everything has to be explained to him, and I'm not sure how many times they've explained it to him, but you have his two daughters and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're doing this." "Oh, why are we doing that?" "Oh, let me explain to you again. But there was this energy source underneath the town that we found." It's really dumb how they're really, again, exposition through idiocy, I guess it is. But it's kind of laying it out as if these two women are like it's like the glue that holds the town together. The one that handles the cover up and the one that handles hiring the protection for the city. So it's really weird, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of this episode, and if you're going to be checking it out, if you've been holding off. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already so you can get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top lists. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. I definitely appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.